My name is Victor Marquez. I'm DecoNetwork Sales and Marketing Manager. And with us today is our DecoPro expert, Zach Dewhurst. As a DecoPro consultant, Zach uses his 10 plus years of experience to help other custom decorating businesses become more efficient and profitable through the implementation of DecoNetwork and custom tailor strategies. Feel free to write us your question in the chat within the webinar system, and we'll be able to read your question and answer them here for you live. Let's see, sticking with Jaime, what are the search results on Google or other search engines? Is it comparable to any other platforms? Does it matter? Does best practices come into play? Do you have any feedback on that?
My feedback would be I know that for a fact that over the 9 years I've been using the software, one of the things Deco's always focused on is making it as SEO friendly as possible. If you even look at just our URLs, they are very simple and clean compared to a lot of other sites. When it comes to search engine optimization, no one is ever going to get on the first page of Google for custom t-shirt printing. You're never going to catch custom ink. They've got a decade and millions of dollars of marketing on us. But when someone Googles custom shirts, Google tried to level the playing field by creating essentially local search results. So as you're scrolling halfway down the page, they're showing local organic results. So no one is paying to be a part of that. It's more based on local SEO. And local SEO is a lot less competitive, and DecoNetwork is definitely optimized for you to be able to compete there. It all starts with, one, using tools like Google My Business. Google is kind of the god of search engines in the internet. You make Google happy and other search engines kind of follow. So using tools like Google My Business, Google Reviews, Google Analytics, and then if going into individual pages, for instance, the home page, I could come into the advanced settings and I'm going to come into the meta tags and I can easily write a meta description for each page. So, the meta descriptions and tags used to have a lot more power when it came to SEO. Nowadays, it's more about having a website that's responsive and that the reviews are important. And again, because DecoNetwork is 100% responsive and so forth, Deco is going to definitely rank our websites higher than a lot of other platforms that are not as responsive. But it just comes down to, again, using the tools that are available. Paid SEO, I'm not a big fan of it for custom decoration businesses. You can compete with the local businesses if you put out a good product and you make sure that your customers are coming and they're reviewing your services. Google wants to rank websites now more days based on who's telling them, hey, not only are they offer this, they do a great job, and that drastically also helps some results now.
Very good. Okay, so another question here. This is by, let's see, this is by Grace. She's asking, how do I change prices on the items in DecoNetwork?
So when it comes to pricing, there's a bunch of different rules. Essentially, the fulfillment center designates what the blank price and for the blank product, and then what the decoration price is. So the blank plus the decoration come together to create the wholesale price. That wholesale price can then be marked up by an affiliate to create the final retail price. Now, we as the fulfillment center, we're going to keep it kind of that lower price, and then the customer themselves are adding their artwork to it, and based on the variables that go into the product they're decorating and the decoration process, that's what's essentially creating the price. So we have the fulfillment center has complete control over setting all of the pricing and each decoration process and all the variables that go into it. DecoNetwork is accounting for and allowing us to customize it completely. So screen printing, it's based on how many colors are in the artwork and how many pieces are being printed. Embroidery, how many stitches are in the artwork. DTG, it could be size or type of color. So virtually every variable that could change the price, DecoNetwork has thought of and made it available for us to easily configure.
Okay. Jaime again, he has another question here. would it be possible to add quick quote to the product details page?
To the product details page. The product details page is what is considered a system page. So if you come down here into system pages and then you come into product, we are looking at the view blank product page. So in here we have the request a quote option, and we have view product specification. Now if I come in here and I click on the widget, at the moment I have the request a quote. The quick quote is not available. So this is a situation where currently, no, it's not an option. And that's one of the things I love about Deco. Deco is always updating the software based on suggestions from the users. So in this case, I can't disagree with him that, hey, it'd be nice if we had the quick quote option. And how we get that to become available is we have to make it known to Deco that, hey, this would be a nice addition. So the best way to do that would be to come into, actually, better way to do it, come here, and we can come to help topics. And then from here, we can come to the idea center and submit an idea like this. So in this case, essentially, I would state, hey, we currently have the request a quote option. How can, it'd be really nice if we also had this quick quote. And that's how DecoNetwork knows that, oh, that's something we need to add. Again, the best thing I can tell you about Deco is they're always taking feedback from the users. There's so many variables to think of and things to configure on their end, and they need feedback. So it's just a good idea.
All right. Okay. A couple other questions. Well, actually, lots of questions are still coming in. Next one is from Lindy. She's asking, how many clicks does a typical user make to start designing on the website and place an order?
That's a great question.
Yeah, so that's on the front end, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's always something that we want as few clicks as possible. So sometimes we often even build one-page websites so that they don't even navigate really from more than that. So I'll give you a pretty cool example though. So within the widgets, I can have a blank product listing widget. Just drag it here, and I can display categories as tabs. And I could display t-shirts, and I could display sweatshirts, and we'll just do one more, women's. And again, she brings up a great point. How many clicks? It's kind of like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? So it comes down to often displaying widgets and deciding how much you want it to display. So in this case, I'm displaying blank products, and I could do this I'm on the home page. So we totally could do this on the home page. Now, when the customer clicks on the product, they can either go to the product default page or they can go to the designer. So I'm going to take them, we can make them go to the designer and skip the product page. Now the product page is typically there to show what colors and sizes are available. But if I come to the design, so typically when we used to list products, it would be, okay, show the name above, show the price below, and we kind of got a little bit of information, but we clicked on the product, we learned more. If I show the sizes on the rollover, if I show the colors on the rollover, if I show the product code on the rollover, on image on rollover, brand logo, and I'm going to put the brand logo on the image. So my point with what I'm doing is, if I hover over this, and between what I have here and what I hover, I almost have everything from the product page. So I don't even need to go there if I'm allowing that all to be displayed. So if we preview this, I really like this product listing column widget capability because we don't have to list different pages for every type of product. We can essentially just list all of them on here. So watch how quickly I can navigate this. T-shirts, sweatshirts, women's. This is no load time. And then, what colors are available? Okay, what colors are available in this? And then I click on the product, and where am I going? We're going to the online design tool. So I could do everything on the home page and then get them right to here, and I did it in one click. So, it all depends on how you want to set things up. I have built a lot of pages. I'll give you another example. So this is my local Parks and Rec department, and all the coaches need to place an order. So what do we have? We have a one-page website. Coaches come here, they click on the product, they put their team name, the age group, they order all the stuff, they place the order, and we then just build the Parks and Rec department. So one-page websites are very common because she brings up a great point. The fewer clicks it takes to get to the purchase, the better it is.
Yeah. And also, if you go back to that product page you just had open, I would assume, that one. If you're sharing this on Facebook or in email or an email blast or anywhere, you can also just share this direct URL. That way, it just drops people straight to it. So that's
not only that, it's responsive. So this is going to look awesome on a phone. It's great.
Awesome. So next question here comes from Ken. He's asking, how many stores are you able to set up on each account? So I'm assuming this is on each DecoNetwork subscription. How many stores can you set up?
Oh, okay. Well, Victor, I'll let you kind of answer this. I know the standard is 1. The premium is 500.
500 stores. Yep. So just to kind of recap, we have 3 subscription options, and if you could, Zach, are you able to pull up our pricing page just to kind of give a visual to it? Might be a little easier to follow along also. So while he's pulling that up, we do have 3 subscription options that you can sign up to. Standard, that's our entry level. It's ideal for a single website, single store. You can build as many pages and products and everything that you want on the standard. Yep, there it is. Now, in order to build more than one store, that will be our premium. With premium, you get up to 500 web stores you can build out. Each can have its own tailored products. Each store can be customized and branded differently, separate from your main core website. And our third subscription is Enterprise. This one is an unlimited amount of stores. So there is no caps on how many stores you can build on Enterprise.
To build on that, Victor, what makes the affiliate websites totally worth using, and this has been available for my entire 9 years, is the ability to clone a website. Because cloning drastically reduces the amount of time it takes to build a site. So when we clone, every time we publish a site, we save a version, and every time we clone that version, every variable we've configured in the front end and the back end, so the products and the website's design, is copied over in a matter of minutes. I mean, sometimes it's less than a minute, depending on how much products and customization was done. So it drastically reduces the amount of time it takes. And again, you're typically always providing the same type of websites out there. And if you can just build a nice template for different niches and so forth, you can make it really easy. And realize I've had hundreds of conversations with DecoNetwork licensees. Some licensees like to let their affiliates manage their site. Some of them never let them manage it, and some of them just depends on the affiliate. So realize that the websites can be managed by the affiliate themselves. They have their own username and login. They just won't have as much access to everything we, the fulfillment center, can do. But yeah, and again, what makes it so awesome is every website is exactly the same. So you don't have to relearn how to build a website differently than your own.
Exactly. Okay. Next one here comes from Ashley. She's asking, in the request a quote section, how do you add a button for a customer to upload their own design or file? So specifically, this is in the request a quote page.
So yeah, the request a quote page, like Vic, he was just saying, it's a unique page that this quote tool is really only on this page.
Mm-hmm.
And if we actually click on it's a widget for this page, and we can choose what all we want to include as far as letting the customer make their options. So
I believe it does give you that button by default to upload a
yeah,
design file.
yep,
Yep. Is that what
open
we're seeing?
product.
Yep, that's what we're seeing right there. Yeah. So it's already
So
included. Uh,
yep.
and actually, if you're not seeing yours, if you have a DecoNetwork account and you're not seeing it, you can always contact our support team, and they'll kind of walk you right through it, how to enable it. It could be that you might just have it hidden. Maybe some setting was changed, but it should be
Well,
there by
and
default.
Victor, you brought up a great point, though. DecoNetwork offers really great client services. Over the years, the team has really grown, and the tools have really grown. So I can come up here to the search tool, and I could type request a quote, and I can find an article that is going to talk about how the request a quote tool works. I could also
Mm-hmm.
come over to the question mark, and I've got all the support resources. And if I come to help topics, it's going to take me to DecoNetwork's help page, and you could find virtually anything there. And then third is to raise a support ticket. And raising a support ticket contacts client services, and they're there to help you with any questions or problems you're having with the software. Now, client services is not going to build you a website or do a bunch of custom things. They're there to help guide you to success whenever you're having problems or questions.
Yep. Okay. Next question from Steven. He's asking, well, he's saying, hi, I'm new to DecoNetwork. Can I work on several different versions of my website? Meaning, can I save a second or third website? If yes, how? And thanks for the webinar.
So can you save with the 500 websites, I can always clone a website at any point. So what I'm going to do actually right now is I'm going to publish this. And by publishing it, we are creating a version of the website. And let's say that I can always revert back to an older version. So every time we publish it, we are essentially just time-stamping a version of it that is archived in the back end, and we can come back to it.
Quick question, Zach, just want to follow up on that. Do you know how many timestamps can be saved? How far back you can kind of revert to, or is it just the immediately previous one?
Oh no, we are keeping track pretty much every time we publish. So yeah, I can go back, several versions from what I did.
Okay.
And it's just never. Sometimes, again, I like to clone a lot of websites, so it's never hurts to clone a website, and you have 500 at a time. Okay, so if you launch a website and then you don't want to use it, or it's just that whatever, you're just done with it, we can delete it, and then you just added another website that you could add. So there's no risk or really anything going wrong, and you're not going to slow down the network by having more websites all on your same Deco network.
Yep. Okay.
A little bit harder than what I want it to be. So if I come to admin now, we'll just skip the publishing. We come to edit website, previously published, and every time we create a version, we can, and then I can restore it. So if I restored this is going to bring us back to what it looked like before I went at it.
All right.
Hopefully it doesn't make me a liar, and I'm right.
I'm actually jumping the line here for a question that just came in, but it's in relating to what we're talking here. So Juan had a question to this scenario. What happens with if you have a standard? So if you have a standard account and only have access to one website, will the option to revert to previous versions, would that still be there? At least,
yes. So yeah, that's one of the great options within Deco. If you start on the premium plan, you have every capability that the or the standard plan instead of premium, everything's the same except for instead of 500 websites, you have one, and a few different small features throughout the fulfillment center settings are not available, but they can be added for a small fee each month. So what I would say is there's nothing wrong with starting out standard and then upgrading to premium. Nothing will, in no way is there working backwards whatsoever. Again, that's what, again, DecoNetwork uses a lot of logic. They put themselves in the shoes of the end consumer and think of, okay, what would be the easiest way for them? So no, one of my favorite things about it, again, is that you can start standard and you can easily upgrade with zero extra work. Just realize that when you're using the premium version, you're getting a heck of a deal. Because to host 500 custom websites that are responsive for $200 and all of the tools that go along with it, you're just never going to beat it anywhere else.
All right, and sticking to the same topic, Peter asked, what is the upgrade cost for standard to premium? So if you already have standard, what's the cost to upgrade? And actually, I can answer that. You only pay the difference. So if you can bring that up. So when you initially sign up to standard, there's a licensing cost. You have your monthly subscription cost. When you want to move over to premium, you do not have to pay that licensing fee all over again. You only pay the difference. So if you've already paid the standard licensing fee to upgrade, you just pay the remaining balance of that. And you can do it at any time, and your monthly bill will be prorated if you make that change in the middle of the month.
Yeah, see, again, and I've seen Deco change pricing 6 different times. They grandfather you in most of the time to whatever pricing you were at. So if the software keeps getting more expensive, Victor, I don't want to say for sure, but what is kind of the policy with the grandfathering?
Sure. So once you sign up to a subscription, you're locked in. Those prices are yours to keep. Yeah, we a few years ago, I mean, we've been around for quite a long time, and we've made changes and upgrades and introduced new features. So who we are now is not who we were, let's say, 8 years ago. And so there is research and development that goes along with that. So if you get in early, those are your rates. You're locked in. And as we evolved, as things change, you're still locked into those rates.
Yeah, and that is not typical in the industry. And then I've always liked 9 years of using the software, never changed my pricing, not once. So it's been, I really like that about it.
Okay, and I just lost my place here. I'm trying to stay in order with the questions as they come in. Let's see. So we tackled a few questions here. How many? Okay. Okay, here's one. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Lost my place, and I want to make sure I'm getting to everybody. So Robert asked if you can talk a little bit about how to edit the HTML and CSS. And I want to add to that: is it necessary? Is it necessary to update your HTML and CSS?
No. The only time you would ever potentially want to update the HTML and CSS is if you drastically needed something custom in the header, and that is it. I'll tell you, it's way more of a want than a need. The reason why you don't like to use custom CSS and HTML is when software updates, and DecoNetwork's going to update, it has a good potential of maybe not updating as well as it or display as it did before the update. So you run the potential of breaking it. Everything that would have to be custom CSS or HTML is now just a widget option. So, again, back in the day, if I wanted to add a shadow around the button, I would have to code some CSS and get that shadow. Now I just go into the design, and I mean, it's just making sure you have right options on and so forth, because there's a lot of different selections that you can make, and it's a lot easier just to turn it on and see what's going on immediately. The only time you might want to slip in some HTML, and again, not custom, me go back to inkzag.com, and this is not hard, and a lot of times they are free and they're a great tool. You want to convert customers, put a live chat on your website, okay? So this live chat is custom HTML, and the live chat allows us to grab customers immediately. Sorry, I'm jumping around all over the place. Trying to go back to where I was. When to edit the HTML for the website, you're going to come into admin, and I'm going to come into edit websites. We have custom CSS HTML. Now the CSS, again, this is if you were going to update the header, you would put it there. But the HTML, if you want to just put in just a tiny snippet for the live chat, that can be a really nice tool for grabbing customers as they land on the page and trying to convert orders. But as far as CSS and HTML, the other thing that's not great about it is unless you know how to update it, if someone writes the code, it can be much harder to update versus just going into a selection.
Yeah,
I've built dozens and dozens of websites, and I couldn't tell you how to use any of it because all I know is that custom code will break as software updates. It has too much of a risk.
yeah, and as you know, trends shift also. You know, browser updates and things like that, because the browsers also need to read your code and interpret that code.
Yeah.
So as things progress, things move on. You know, things could begin to break.
If you add custom CSS HTML, you're going to have to look at, okay, what's this website look on Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari, Internet Explorer? You got to look at them all, and because it's going to display a little differently. I would rather work within the boundaries of DecoNetwork, which are very few. So yeah, and DecoNetwork is always updating. We're beta testing some pretty cool new features right now that are going to make even the website portion design even better.
Yeah. Another follow-up question from Robert, and it relates here. He's asking if you can give some tips about responsive mobile devices. You know, how would the website look like on a mobile device?
So when it comes to designing a website, the software is 100% responsive, but again, we can always override certain settings to make sure that it's exactly the way we want it to be. So right now we're viewing this page on a desktop, and the two other types of devices that are typically going to be used is a tablet and a phone. So if I click on the tablet version, I immediately can see, okay, what are we looking like on a tablet? And as you can see, most of the content is essentially just shrank itself down to display optimally on here. Now, for a phone, I can't go that wide. We've got to start stacking content. So we'll look at what this looks like on a phone. And as you can see, it is naturally already changing its size, and it's looking awesome. Sometimes you might want to make a configuration here and there, but I'll give you an example. This is not a good example, but I'll click on here. Row settings, and if I come to the responsive properties, essentially this is a full width. Actually, it's stacked no matter what. I don't have a good example in here, Victor. Oh, the responsive. So it's all within the column itself. So you can choose if it's stacked, if it's inline. So if I make this inline, it will look differently on a phone. These are just not the right widgets to be demonstrating.
Yeah, but essentially you can design the website, you know, the way you have it displayed here, desktop mode. And if you want to make adjustments for mobile, the platform does allow you to kind of go in there and kind of make adjustments.
Yep.
But it will automatically convert it to a mobile-friendly display.
Another thing, Victor, that's kind of cool though is sometimes I build sales rep apps for DecoNetwork licensees. So this is an example. If I were to go onto my phone, and when it comes to applications, they have to be updated and approved by Apple or Google and so forth for Android, and they're just a hassle to update and get on there. So instead, you're better off building a website that acts like an application. And here I just have buttons, and if you're on a phone or a tablet, this looks nothing like this. This navigation's different, and it I can generate a quick quote. I can demonstrate the product line. I mean, everything I need immediately is right here versus having a real robust website. So sometimes you might want to just clone your site and then turn off a few pages and make it work kind of like an app and save it onto the desktop of a phone or a tablet, and it will work just like an app, but it updates and everything else just like a website, which is awesome.
All right. So next question here by Peter. He's asking, can I bring items in from a supplier and require a minimum of one dozen to purchase? And he also adds that he does not want to have this property for all suppliers, but just a single supplier.
So when it comes to minimums, we can set a minimum based on a decoration process, like screen printing typically has a minimum of 12. But sometimes we also want minimums for specific products. So if I come into the product section, and this can only be done at the fulfillment center level, this cannot be done at the affiliate website. So I'm going to come into apparel, and I'll just select the PC54. And within the minimum quantities and bundles, right here, I can actually set whatever the minimum quantity needs to be. And I can also specify what bundles are. So if I want to sell them in 12 or 24 or 72 packs and so forth, we absolutely can. As far as doing it across an entire supplier's product line, there is no way to just automatically set that. It would have to be done more on a product level basis from there.
All right. Moving on. Next question here comes from Brian. He's asking, is there a way to get the designer to show subcategories by default? I have it so that the store logos show all subcategories, but not stock designs. So, Brian, if you're still on, can you clarify that with me, with us a bit more? In Zach, I think what he's asking is the designs. At least that's what I'm thinking he's asking. When you load up the online designer and you go to click from the front end, and then you go to click to add a artwork, stock artwork, it seems that he wants to limit to specific designs, in this case just logos. He might be having an affiliate store specifically for a school or a brand where they're going to be using the one logo on everything. So he doesn't want to show the default stock designs.
Yep. Okay, so where we need to do that is within an individual widget, you can, for the designs, I can choose which, so I'll give you an example. If let's come back to the home page. And if we show the designs, it'll only show.
And I think this actually starts in the,
It's
you can actually indicate what designs are going to be shown at an affiliate store level.
As far as store designs, yes. As far as stock designs, no.
If you enable the stock designs, on a global level, are those stock designs forced into every?
Here I can make it show both store and stock designs, both show store or stock. So a stock design is essentially clip art, if you want to think about it. And that clip art is added with text to create a final piece of artwork. Versus store designs are typically something that's designed in like Photoshop or Illustrator and then uploaded, and it's a logo, for example, and it's finished and it's ready to go. The customer just wants to then add it to the cart. So you need to add the store designs to really control it. Victor, this might be something. It might be something where if you're on the designs page, since this is a system generated page, and this widget is correlated with everything else. If I
Mm-hmm.
make this store designs, then on the online designer, I think that's how it would be as well, because of
Uh-huh.
this widget. Look how different this widget is. Okay, so this is the same widget I had on the home page, but you see how fewer options I have? It's
Yep.
because this widget is unique to the designs page right there. Indicates that.
Okay. Let's see here. Brian did have a follow-up. He's asking that stock design subcategories aren't showing on his site. And Brian, we won't know exactly what the issue is over the webinar, but I do want to invite you to submit a support ticket to our support team or give our support team a call. They'll be able to actually go into your actual account and see what's going on to kind of get that fixed for you. But they should be showing there for you.
And it's really, when you're logged in, if you're having a problem, question mark, raise support ticket. They've already got your website pulled up. Just don't tell them that it's always very urgent. Client service is very quick at getting back to you. There are reps located all over the country that are really replying at all hours of the day and night. So it's a very quick response from the team.
All right, so we're about an hour and 20 minutes in. The Q&A is pretty lively, and Zach, don't mean to scare you, but we got lots to go here. So let's try to speed it up here. I'm gonna do my best to get through all of them. But the next question here comes from Les. How do you add custom products that can be designed like business cards, banners, and things like that? She says that she sells these types of products.
Yeah, that's going to be our third webinar that we were planning. Is one of the best things about DecoNetwork is we don't have to sell custom apparel. We can upload any product, whether it's decoratable or not. So within the products section, I can come over to add custom products. And by adding a custom product, I can upload an image of anything I want. So a business card or a banner, for example. At the end of the day, they are squares. So anything you want to upload and sell and make decoratable is totally possible. You just have to make it custom here. And again, that is something, a lot of the times it's a little advanced and you can figure it out, or you can pay us to do it. And instead of, something that could take you hours and weeks to learn how to do, it could be just done, in a day by us. So and a lot of the times what you'll find is we build just like we build website templates, we build product templates. And once we build a product template, we can copy it and just change things. So let's say you want to sell a business card that's 2x3, and then you want to sell another business card that's 3x3. Well, we could copy it, and all we do is change the image from a rectangle to a square and change the price and the name, and we have a new product.
All right. Next question, Kelly. Kelly says, I already have a website with Bluehost. Now, what is the process of moving to DecoNetwork?
So, okay, so Bluehost, are we talking domain registrar, domain moving, or just moving the website?
Does not say, but I'm going to go and make it difficult and say that it's domain and the hosting and everything.
Okay, so when it comes to, it's not hard to move a website because we're not going to, well, I should say we're not going to move it. We're going to rebuild it. When it comes to website design or building a website, half of it is figuring out what you want the design to be. The other half is actually implementing it. It's like playing golf. You're going to tell yourself what you want to do, and then you have to actually do it. And then it doesn't typically come out always that easily. But to answer your question, if you've already designed a site, you've already actually taken on half the battle, and recreating one page at a time is much easier than starting often with just a blank canvas. And so it's really not that hard. You just want to keep your one site live and then just build page by page on DecoNetwork. What you can also, and then what Bluehost is really known for is also a lot of domain registering. So if I come in domain settings, every single website within DecoNetwork or your affiliate can have a custom domain name added. So you'll just put the domain name here, and then you'll update the DNS records for the whoever's you registered the domain name with, so to make sure that it's pointing to DecoNetwork servers for the hosting. And just so you know, if you're taking advantage of the affiliate network, you can even, whenever you launch a new website, you are .deco-apparel by default. But Deco makes everything possible to be white labeled, in which you can come into the website settings and you can add your own default domain name. So anytime a new website is launched, instead of being .deco-apparel, it can be whatever you want, you know. So it again allows it to be more custom for your business.
All right. Kelly did have a follow-up to this scenario. She says she only has the one store with Bluehost. She's asking, can I have different pages for different schools to sell products on in the one website? I'm assuming. But
so yeah, and that's not uncommon for some fulfillment centers to ask that question. And technically, yes, you can. Now, is it a lot harder to keep track of who earns what commissions and all of that? Yes. Can anybody purchase products from any of those clients? Yes. You can't make certain pages only available to certain individuals in that sense. So it's actually, Victor, I kind of thought of a solution right then.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be hiding pages and still making links available.
Yeah.
So so you technically, you really, that's a good workaround. Instead, I could build a page and the contact, for example. I'll come down here. I'm not going to show it in menu. I'll click save. I don't know how this works in preview, so if it doesn't work, it's not my fault.
It should still work. Essentially, people wouldn't be able to reach it through the navigation, but you can share a direct link and people can still access it with that link. Yep. Right
so right now we're on the contact page. I'll come back to the home, and I don't see the contact here. Is it just page? Contact. And see, it's still there. So just because we don't see it in the header doesn't mean it's not available.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we have another question here by Juan. Juan is asking, is it possible to have a test version of Premium? And I do want to kind of answer that one there. Juan, if you go to DecoNetwork.com, you can actually chat with one of our sales reps live and just reach out to them. They'll have options for you. You can also book a tour from DecoNetwork.com. And then you can actually get a preview, a live preview, a tour. They'll highlight the features, walk you through all the content that's available to you while answering questions that you have. And the tours are screen shared, online screen shared tours. So you'll have a visual similar to this webinar, but during the tours, you will actually be able to speak and interact live with the person giving you that tour. So feel free to reach out to them. They'll be glad to assist with that request. All right, so a couple other questions that we have here. Okay, so this one comes from Ken. He's asking, if using a wholesale supplier that is not an affiliate, is there a way to manage inventory from that supplier? So that's if the supplier is not already integrated. We don't already have that integration with that supplier. Can we manage the inventory?
After we've added a product, we can manage it. So I'll give you a good example. In this case, this affiliate, they sell a lot of, this is a unique niche, photo balls. So a lot of the times, they have the replica footballs that have the signatures and all that. This affiliate has a very unique heat press and heat transfer machine for creating the transfers. So we had to create all these products from scratch. And this is just like this is a different supplier than any one that we had. So after we created the products from scratch, in which we uploaded an image, so they come to views and decoration areas, we actually uploaded a football image where it'll crop around it and so forth. But if I come into SKU and inventory, I can enable inventory for the product and keep track of inventory from there.
Okay. All right, so next question here comes from Peter. If you create a separate web page, should it be a subset of the primary homepage? So web
Repeat that?
page, yeah, so here's the question again. If you create a separate web page, should it be a subset of the primary home page? So I'm gonna go out of the on a limb here and say maybe he's referring to a separate website, because at the moment each web page, the directory, the URL will follow um, a, a naming convention where it's going to primarily be the name of your main domain slash and then the name of that page, or follow the cookie crumbs and categories. So I guess maybe he's asking different web pages, like a different website.
Yeah. I'll give I'll give you one. I'm not exactly sure what he wants to do, but I'll give you something here. Let's say in this navigation, I want to link to another web page. I can come into advanced. Instead of being on or off, I can link to an external site. And in this case, let's come back to this pricing. Let's come back to here. And I'm going to open in a new window. Now, opening a new window will take them off of the website, and because we're leaving this site, we're not going to a different page on the site, it makes sense. So if I come to About, now we're on the pricing page of Deco. Don't know if that answers the question, but it's a cool trick.
Yeah, and if that's not the question, feel free to give us a follow-up there. We'll make sure to tackle that for you. Okay, next question here. This one comes from Les. Is the option still there for us to upload editable templates like template created in CorelDRAW? And I'm not sure if you have that knowledge, Zach. That's kind of a CorelDRAW features, kind of a grandfather feature from a while ago.
Yeah, I know that. So Deco back in the day used to have a design tool that was powered by CorelDRAW, but in order for us to become 100% responsive, DecoNetwork built a new design tool. And yeah, Victor, I don't want to tell her anything wrong, but what I will tell her is DecoNetwork has essentially started listing a ton of new stock artwork templates, and they design and act just like a CorelDRAW template. You want to talk more about that, Victor?
Yeah. In replacement of that, because the CorelDRAW option was pretty cool, people can drop in the Corel files. The issue was that processing those files was very time consuming, because CorelDRAW is not built as an online platform. So in replacement of that, we do have our own design builder, an editor that we built, where you can actually create your own templates through there. So rather than going through Corel, built into DecoNetwork, all of our subscriptions now have the option to actually launch a design template maker that your customers could then use as starting points, as design templates and things like that. So we no longer have that option, but we've replaced it with something that's actually intended for online use, and is very, very quick. It's responsive. It's literally, it's just about instantaneous when there's like changes done to the templates.
To create that template, you can come here within the stock designs, add design, create template. That's where you can create the template he's talking about. Or we can come into the stock design collections, and this is where DecoNetwork offers a series of free and paid artwork. So we're 3 sports in right now, and I know we've got a few more coming, right, Victor?
That is true. We've just released a soccer, or for the rest of the world, football artwork collection. The week after that, we had a new baseball artwork collection, and as of today, we just launched the ice hockey collection. So those are now available. Yep, those are it right there. There's still more coming every week, actually, and we're making announcements on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, our emailing list. So feel free to reach out to those through those platforms, and you can see previews of those collections as we put them out. And they're fully editable as well. So the text, color, shapes can be moved around. So you can really make it your own.
And Victor, even this, so this isn't the only thing that's making this 100% soccer specific is this ball. I mean, technically, I could swap this out with a volleyball, and I could put volleyball up there, and even the word shoot, or I'd make it spike, something like that. But it realized that a lot of these editable templates, they're just a great starting point. When it comes to artwork templates, it's more about where is the clip art kind of laid out in the font, that design portion. And what I also really like about these new design templates that were created, they're real easy to make very few print colors, which is what a screen printer wants. We don't want to print 10 colors unless we're DTGing something. So we can drastically reduce the colors, which is what a screen printer often wants.
Yep. Okay, next question from Peter. He's asking he's mentioning here, when a customer clicks on a design screen, when a customer clicks on the design, a screen pops up that immediately allows the customer to add text. Is it possible to stop this screen from showing up?
Yes. So if you go into the website settings, you can come into the global designer settings. And the global designer settings can do this across the board. And then we also can choose to allow the stores to override them. So if we want, the stores can override it. But what he's asking is add item dialog on load. So if I turn that off, that pop-up is not going to be coming up there anymore. And that's, again, see, that's a great example of what, if I have lost Victor,
I am back.
You're back.
I'm back. We got a strong Q&A session, and my laptop battery just wasn't up to the task. I just plugged back in. Okay. All right. So I'm just kind of reorienting myself here. I got the questions back up, and I'm glad the webinar did not drop. I was a little scared about that. Jadarius asking, what's the name of this football decoration affiliate? Those were cool. What did I miss? What's the name of this football decoration affiliate? Those were cool. Did you show any sample sites with football?
Unless it was this soccer one.
Yeah, maybe there were the designs. We did just launch football, aka soccer designs. So maybe those were it. Oh, here we go. So he's saying that you were showing an example with American football. Those were you were talking about suppliers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those products we just added from custom. Again, anything you want to sell within Deco can be uploaded. I mean, if you wanted to sell, a lot of sports teams, for example, you might be their apparel supplier, but they also want to sell headbands. And maybe you don't even want to embroider the headbands. You just want to sell them blank. And you can buy them wholesale. So we can list any product in here and track the inventory for it. It's very handy.
Nice. All right. Next question here from Brian. He's asking, and this seems more like a support question. He's asking, can you advise how to set up order reply email address, specifically the SPS record, so we don't get email sent to spam, which is very, very valid. You don't want your email sent to spam. We do have tutorial videos already made covering that topic on our YouTube channel that you can check out. You can also reach out to our support team, and they'll answer that question and provide a link to that video to assist. But Zach, can you kind of just guide him where that would be set up? And it would be a little different per email domain provider. So, but we can show you on the DecoNetwork side where to go to do that.
Yeah, and if I just come up here and I type in SPF email, I just saw how do I configure order reply email SPF record. So we got a video.
Oh, perfect.
Right here.
Yeah.
And then like Victor pointed out, honestly, this is one of the more difficult things to get configured in here. and all it is one little thing here, but why it makes it difficult. Anytime we have to make configurations outside of the software, that's where we're dealing with new variables. So anytime we're doing stuff like this is where client services will gladly help you walk through it and get it done. This is a little advanced, and that's why client service is there to help you with it.
Nice. All right, so next question, Brian. He's asking, is there a tutorial for using templates as I've been on for a few years and not yet learned to use them? Okay, so we actually do have an entire playlist of a lot of the features and tools that Zach just went through, so that you can kind of a little bit of a slower pace, kind of go through those features and those tools one at a time to really kind of learn how to use them. And Zach, if you could, I kind of just want to point them to where they can get that playlist. Could you go to our blog? That one, website page editor. If you click on that there, it's an entire playlist going over all the different features that they kind of assist you through those widgets and settings and how to edit those templates. And as you can see below, you can actually toggle between different videos. And I believe, yeah, there's like 2 pages worth of videos, 3 pages. Yeah, so feel free to check it out. It's our blog, DecoNetwork.com/blog. You can also access the blog by going to our main website at DecoNetwork.com. In the navigation, you have blog, and you can access those tutorials. And the tutorials are actually in YouTube as well. So if you follow us on YouTube, you can access all of our videos, and you'll have a playlist dedicated just to that. All right, Zach, it looks like we made it through the end here. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining. It was a very lively discussion in the Q&A portion of it. We thank you very much for that. Thanks a lot. And Zach, thanks again for hosting the webinar.
Thanks for having me, Victor.
All right. Have a good one, guys.